Welcome to the EQ Fit podcast. Our mission is to equip people to prosper in every aspect of their life. Whether you're at home or in the workplace, we explore practical ways of improving success, satisfaction, finding balance, and building enjoyable and beneficial relationships. Thank you for joining us. Happy New Year. This is the first episode of 2025. We're in a new year, and I'm excited about that. Let me give you a little insight into where the whole podcast is going this year. It's going toward mindset. It's going toward leadership and leadership skills. It's going toward this combination of advancements in technology and advancements in what we understand about our brains. So neuroscience, emotional intelligence. And that's where I really want to start today, is the crossroads of emotional intelligence and artificial intelligence in leadership. So I'm kind of combining several things at once here, but I think it's an important focus. I'm very excited. I spent a full day with my good friend, Dr. Chuck Coker from Life Thrive. On Monday of last week, I spent the full day videoing a brand new course. And it's going to be called The Art of Emotionally Intelligent Leadership. And it covers a lot of the things that I want to bring into this focus today, which is how do we juggle our advances in technology with the human dynamic that is always there in a leadership role. And I'm excited about that new course. It'll come out sometime very soon. I'm hoping the first quarter of 2025. And we'll make that available to anybody who's interested. And here's why it's so important, because there's some secret sauce in all of that. We have integrated some things into that course that nobody else has. And it focuses on how to become an emotionally intelligent leader while still managing all of the different challenges that we face as leaders today. Well, let's dive into this episode and really look at where are we with the crossroads of emotional intelligence and artificial intelligence when it comes to leadership and leadership impact? Well, in leadership, these two things seem to be at opposite ends, don't they? They seem to be very different. But the reality is they are converging in a very profound and transformational way. Leaders today have to navigate complex emotional landscapes while leveraging advanced technologies to drive their success and the success of their team. And all of that starts within the leader themselves. And that's where the emotional intelligence is so critical. It's very difficult to leverage technology when you can't focus, when you can't access your higher thinking skills. And that's what happens with people who don't have good emotional intelligence skills, or they're under such pressure that they just are continually triggered with strong emotions. So that's what I want to dive into and talk about, this intersection of EI, emotional intelligence, and AI, artificial intelligence, and how it presents a unique opportunity for leaders to enhance their effectiveness, how it can foster innovation, and how it can create meaningful connections. No matter how good your technology is, at the end of every bit of technology is a human being. And if we can't, as leaders, leverage both the technology and the emotional environment to bring those together for success, then we're never going to reach our capacity when it comes to potential success. Well, let's focus in for a minute on, I just want to share my experience. When artificial intelligence first became available, I looked at it somewhat skeptically. I mean, the term artificial is in the word artificial intelligence. So, I thought, I don't know about this. But I have to be honest with you, I have found it to be a very useful tool. Here's what I want to say about using artificial intelligence as a tool. It isn't going to give you all of the answers, and it isn't going to give you all of the right answers. But what it can do is it can take your input and it can polish it. It can bring in insights and information from other areas. It can give you real-time insights. There are many things that artificial intelligence can do to enhance, and that's the key word, enhance our success individually, as a individual contributor, as a leader, as even an owner of an organization. There are so many things that we can do with artificial intelligence, and we're seeing it everywhere now. But the key here is, don't forget the human dynamic. No matter how good the technology is, it's built for us as people. So the next thing I want to share with you is critical, because how do we blend this? That's really what this comes down to. You think about a crossroads. A crossroads, you could go left, you could go right, or you could go straight ahead. Well, I want to combine the left direction, which is artificial intelligence, and the right direction, which is emotional intelligence. I want to kind of bring those together so I can keep moving forward with those things in parallel. And that's what we're going to introduce today. And it's what I will continue to talk about throughout 2025 and probably beyond, because it is so important for us to stay up to date and enhance our skills, enhance our knowledge, keep a growth mindset with both technology and with the human dynamic side of being a good leader. So let's first look at the emotional intelligence aspects. I think it's helpful if we just step back for a second and get a general idea of how are we defining these things. So let's start with emotional intelligence, which is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while influencing others, understanding what they're going through, their perspectives. It is the cornerstone of effective leadership. Really, just about every soft skill has a foundation in emotional intelligence competencies. If we understand that, then we don't have to worry so much about building out the 34 to 40 soft skills that have been identified. We can focus on one skill set, which is emotional intelligence, and then we can develop that so that organically those soft skills improve. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to leveraging emotional intelligence. And it is the foundation. Now, you may decide, as in construction, if you're building a house, you pour a foundation. Whatever you build on that foundation is really up to you. You get to decide what that looks like. You get to decide if you want this material or that material. Well, in leadership, it's the same thing. What soft skills do you want to create in yourself? What skills do you want to develop? What processes, what procedures, what kinds of communications, what types of interactions? How do you build connection? How do you build trust? There are so many different elements to leadership. So everybody's house may look a little different, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the foundation is a set of skills that will either support that house, that leadership extremely well, or unfortunately, it may crumble. And we see that a lot when we see burnout with leaders, when we see people promoted into leadership that are not given the equipping and the training and the skills that they need to be successful in that leadership role. Well, now that we understand how important emotional intelligence is, we're combining some things here. Dr. Chuck Coker from Life Thrive, myself, and the founder of EQ Fit, we have come together and brought our 75 plus years of experience in leadership development to helping people become the very best leaders they can be. And a big part of that is understanding people. It's the human dynamic. So the keys to emotional intelligence competencies are self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, intrinsic motivation, and social skills. Those are the 5 big competencies of emotional intelligence. Now, what do they do? How is that important to us as a leader? Well, one of the biggest ones is build trust and rapport with your team members and with other people you influence, your peers, and even your supervisors. It helps you to navigate challenging interpersonal dynamics with grace so that you handle those things and you look like you're calm and collected, which you should be. With the right development of these skills, you should be calm under pressure. Even when deadlines are coming, when things look like they're not going to happen, how do you choose to operate? Do you fall back on skills like this that really help you manage that and navigate that well, or do you flounder? Unfortunately, today we see a lot of leaders that are floundering. I see this on Reddit all the time. I'm on the social media channel of Reddit, and I am on several different Reddits there. Specifically, the one on leadership is the one I'm thinking of. And what I see there is a lot of people asking, hey, I just got promoted, really good in this tech stuff that I do, and now I'm a leader of a team or a group or whatever. I don't know how to become a good leader. How do I lead people? This is very, very typical. It's just like the old thing where people took their top salesperson and promoted them to be a sales manager and basically ruined 2 different roles at the same time. And when I say ruin, there's no judgment there. It's just simply because you're good at one thing does not mean you're going to be good at leading that thing, because leadership is all about getting things done through other people. And there's a lot of effort and energy and a different set of skills that goes into that. You can't just be an exceptional individual performer as a leader. You have to be a mentor and a coach. You have to get things done through other people. You have to build connection, build trust. You have to have influence. You have to understand the different dynamics at work. And that is where Chuck and I have come together and created this new course called The Art of Emotionally Intelligent Leadership, because it isn't taught anywhere. And that we knew this was a huge gap. I'm very excited about the opportunity to share that with as many people as possible, because what it's going to do is it's going to remove a lot of the frustrations and fears and anxieties and stressors that a lot of leaders have. Even seasoned leaders still struggle with a lot of these things. Well, if we can remove those by a set of skills that really facilitate an accelerated success model for leadership, why not do that, right? Would you not go out and buy the right set of tools to fix the thing you want to fix or to make it better? Of course you would. That's the way we do things. So the next thing that that emotional intelligence can do for a leader, it inspires and motivates teams toward common goals. How do we set shared goals? How do we create a culture of shared values? That is so critical to leadership. And then we can also adapt to rapidly changing environments with resilience. This is one of the most important things that emotional intelligence will do for a leader and for their team. Because we don't want to just raise the emotional intelligence of the leader, we want to raise it of the entire team. To do that, we will become more agile, more resilient, and that is going to give you a competitive advantage in the marketplace. So we know research consistently demonstrates the link between emotional intelligence and leadership success. The higher your emotional intelligence, the greater your chance of success as a leader. Leaders with high EI are better equipped to foster psychological safety, drive employee engagement, and create cultures of innovation. Those are three big KPIs when it comes to leadership. Now let's switch to artificial intelligence. And yes, we're still on the definitions, but just to give you some flavor and some color behind why all of this is important. Artificial intelligence, with its capacity to analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns, offers unparalleled tools for decision making, operational efficiencies, and strategic planning. Terrific, right? And by the way, when it comes to emotional intelligence, we know that artificial intelligence is data-driven, but so is emotional intelligence. I have several different types of assessments. One that we've created ourselves between Chuck and myself that help people see their emotional intelligence in a data-driven format so they understand what are the strengths, where are the gaps, where do we need to work on to improve our skills. So when we think of artificial intelligence and what it can bring to us, AI technologies like predictive analytics, natural language processing, machine learning, they are reshaping entire industries. How is that happening? Well, better data, better decisions, right? It's going to enhance decision making through real-time insights. It's automating repetitive tasks. It's freeing leaders to focus on strategic initiatives. And it's also going to free leaders up to spend more time building connection and trust so they have greater influence, which is the whole emotional intelligence side. This is where EI and AI start to come together. And they can identify workforce trends and optimize team performance. AI is going to be a wonderful tool. I'm already using it. I'm enjoying the use of it. It's helping me get my experience, knowledge, my skills available to more people, but also just provide better information, better insights for people. And it's allowing me to take this data-driven approach to human dynamics, all of the different assessments that I do, it's helping me bring those together in a way that is so much more impactful. So the integration of AI into leadership is not without its challenges, and we know that. You probably already experienced it. There's ethical considerations, there's data privacy, and there is potential for dehumanization, which requires leaders to balance technological advancement with human-centric values. This is where we've got to bring EI and AI together to really have the success we want as leaders. Okay, let's do that. Let's actually start to pull EI and AI together so that they're working together instead of working at differing places as pulling apart. No, we don't want that. We want pulling together. So how do we do that? Well, at the Crossroads, of EI and AI, leaders find a powerful synergy that amplifies their impact. So here's some key areas we can focus on. We've already talked about number one, which is enhanced decision making. AI can provide leaders with data driven insights, but it is emotional intelligence that enables leaders to interpret these insights with empathy and wisdom and bring that into their team. For example, predictive analytics may identify employee burnout risks, but an emotionally intelligent leader uses this information to engage employees with care and implement supportive measures. Number two, personalized leadership. AI tools can analyze individual team members' work patterns, their preferences, feedback, which enables leaders to tailor their approach. When you combine that with empathy and social skills from emotional intelligence, leaders can create personalized development plans that resonate deeply with each individual, as demonstrated in my work with personalized assessments and coaching. A leader can get the same kind of impact if they leverage these tools that I get when I do this with my clients. Number three, building resilient teams. AI can monitor team dynamics and flag potential conflicts or inefficiencies. Leaders with strong EI skills can use this information to mediate conflicts constructively, fostering collaboration and psychological safety. The Life Thrive habit story assessment model is a valuable tool in this context. Now, I want to take a minute and talk about that. The habit story comes from a company called Two Story. So Life Thrive and EQ Fit, where Chuck and I coming together and kind of merging our efforts and our experience, we are leveraging this habit story assessment, which is going to have AI components. There's going to be an AI coach for that. And that is the type of benefit you can get by bringing AI and EI together around a very, very practical and very impactful approach to understanding productive and counterproductive habits. When you can do that, it really accelerates the understanding and insight that you can gain. And then what do you do with that? Well, you can literally create very customized development processes for individuals, including yourself as a leader. So this whole concept of using AI and EI together, the habit story assessment that we use from Two Story, it does exactly that. And it is incredibly impactful. Honestly, it would take me probably 3 or 4 different assessments to get the same approximate information that I get out of the one assessment, which is called Habit Story. Measuring someone's productive and counterproductive habits, their response patterns, and their emotional state. And it's incredibly valid and it's powerful. I'm using it right now with several different clients. Why do I spend some time talking about that? I want you to see how we literally can bring AI and EI together in a very useful way for leaders and for their teams. The fourth is driving innovation. Innovation thrives at the intersection of technology and human creativity. AI can identify trends and suggest solutions, while EI enables leaders to inspire their people, manage resistance, manage and navigate conflict for good outcomes, and cultivate a culture of curiosity and innovation. And boy, do we want that as leaders. And then number 5, ethical leadership. AI brings ethical dilemmas that demand emotionally intelligent leadership. So, in essence, you have checks and balances here with both of these. AI keeps you on track with the data and the information and the trends. EI keeps you on track morally, ethically, and in a values driven basis. So leaders need to navigate decisions about data use, algorithmic biases, and the human impact of automation. Self awareness and empathy are critical in ensuring ethical considerations that align with organizational values. This is a lot to take in, but I want to give you a primer on this because we're going to unpack this as we move through the rest of this year. And who knows, maybe into the future for quite a while. So, what are the practical applications for a leader when we talk about these things? Number one, leverage assessments. Use tools like the assessments that I provide to my clients, especially the emotional intelligence assessments or the leadership 360s that are based in emotional intelligence. Use these and that habit story assessment to measure and develop emotional intelligence competencies. Remember, that is the foundation for pretty much every soft skill there is out there. What are soft skills? They're everything from communication to interactions to work ethic to the way that we inspire and motivate and encourage and exhort. And I mean, there's just so many different soft skills, but they come out of a set of skills called emotional intelligence. Embrace continuous learning. I can't stress this one strongly enough. Stay informed about AI advancements and how they can complement human leadership. And I think that's the key word. How can they complement your leadership? Encourage teams to engage in skill development that integrates emotional and technological competencies. Foster collaboration. Create interdisciplinary teams that blend technical expertise with emotional intelligence. This diversity of thought drives innovation and balanced decision making. Balance is a key word. There's two words I put together a lot: boundaries and balance. And that's embedded throughout what I'm talking about today. Getting the right balance is determined by the boundaries that you set and how you use the tools and the skills, the knowledge and the experience that you have. The next one, prioritize humanity. While AI can optimize processes, maintain a focus on the human element. Use emotional intelligence to build those connections and build that trust so that you're getting authentic relationships, which will inspire trust. It ensures technology serves rather than replaces the human connection. Let me draw this kind of to a close here. The crossroads of emotional intelligence and artificial intelligence. These two things coming together is really a new frontier in leadership. We've got to find a way to balance these and to balance them in a way that gives us an advantage. It isn't just about managing them. It isn't just about surviving them. How do we thrive under this? By integrating the human-centric strengths of emotional intelligence with the data-driven power of artificial intelligence, leaders can unlock unparalleled potential in their teams and, frankly, in themselves. The frameworks and tools offered by people like LifeThrive, Dr. Coker, and myself at EQ Fed provide practical pathways for leaders to navigate this intersection with confidence and purpose. Let me take a side light here for just a minute. Does this sound promotional to you? Well, yeah, it should, because I do want to promote what we do, but probably not for the reasons most people think. I promote it because I see the benefit and the positive transformation that happens when I am able to work with people and help them decode all of this stuff that seems so fuzzy and so hard to understand. Emotional intelligence, the mindset, growth mindset versus fixed mindset, organizational development, team development, all of these things that you've got so much coming at you from so many different directions. It doesn't have to be that complicated. There is a pathway that leads to productivity, performance, and profit. And profit comes in a variety of ways. It isn't just about dollars. It's also about culture. It's about a place you want to go to work. It's about a team that you want to work with. It's about leaders that are worth following. That's what I'm talking about. And that's why I'm so strong in my passion for sharing the kinds of things that I do and that my strategic partner, Chuck Coker, does. As I've said, sometime in this new year, probably very soon, we will release that new course. And this is not a promotion for that. I'm just letting you know there's a resource coming. And when that comes, we will let you know about that. I would very much like to hear from people about their challenges in leadership, about what they see with artificial intelligence, what they see with emotional intelligence, and what their questions are around how do you combine those in a leadership role to really have your optimal impact as a leader. So feel free to comment on this. Feel free to reach out to us. Go to our website, eqfit.org, and send us a message. I would love to have a conversation. Conversations don't cost anything. I am more than happy to have conversations with people about what they're seeing, what their challenges are, and what maybe some potential solutions are. So as we enter into this new year, let's start thinking of a new mindset, because a new mindset is going to allow us to get new results and better results in most cases. Thank you for joining us for this episode. If you have any questions about this week's episode, or maybe a suggestion for future episodes you'd like us to explore, please contact us through our website at eqfit.org. For more information and inspiration, connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube at EQFit.